Hey, I'm JJ. This channel's about helping intermediate drummers become advanced. You've read the title, so let's just get into it. Getting my drums to sound good was always challenging for me, and that's because I didn't really have to get them to sound great, because I was just a practice room guy. That was until I started this YouTube channel, and people would actually hear how bad my drums sounded. To start off, let's listen to what the drums sounded like at the start. I should also point out that all the drum audio, except for the background stuff, was recorded with my phone. As you can hear, I used a very high tuning on the snare batter, and I don't even remember what I did on the bottom head, so it was almost unusable without a cloth for muffling. The same was true with the floor tom, as I had it tuned really low. The bass drum was a bit too high, and I didn't put enough muffling in it. The first obvious step would be to get new heads. Most of my heads were about a year old. Some of them, like the snare side head and the floor tom heads, I'd never even changed before. Annoyingly, getting heads for all my drums cost over 250 quid, so I'm gonna look at ways to make these last longer and probably put it into a video. My choice of heads are pretty standard: double ply batters, single ply resos, and an Evans EMAD on the bass drum, which took care of the muffling. So let's hear what these new heads sounded like. Yeah, that's a big improvement, especially in the kick and the rack toms, but two of the big issues, being the snare and the floor tom, hadn't really been fixed. The snare still needed a lot of muffling, which was something I wanted to avoid having to resort to. That means troubleshooting the tuning was what had to be done. I tried a lot of things: high batter, low batter, mid batter, really low. What am I doing, man? But they all sounded off for some reason. I could just not get it to sound like a normal snare drum that I'd hear other drummers play. After trying about 8 different tuning variations, I started to wonder what the point of all this was, but everything changed after I saw this video. The main thing I got from this video was to avoid cranking the snare side head and use more moderate tunings.
I hear some jangly stuff going on in the drum. I hear the wires moving around extra, there's some kind of funny overtones coming from them. Those little sort of transients are things that I associate with a snare side head being tuned extremely high.
After trying this, the off-putting snare buzz was reduced, and the snare no longer sounded like a tom, because they got rid of a lot of the sustain. What I settled on was a medium-high batter and a medium bottom head, which is about 1 full turn on each lug. Thankfully, the floor tom issue was much easier to solve. All I really had to do was tune both heads up about an 1/8 turn. I think this small change had a big difference in the sound, because it allowed the two heads to resonate with each other rather than just the top head rumbling. And with this change, I no longer needed 7 gels just to make the drum not rumble for ages. And let's hear the whole kit before and after. In conclusion, this challenge was really worth doing, as I now feel confident in the way my drums sound, and also in the way they look, because I no longer have a whole packet of gels or a weird cloth on my drums. Thanks for watching. Click on this video to see why you should stop learning traditional grip, and goodbye.